Tom, are you starting a new puppet show? What are those mittens for? What are you doing?
They're oven mittens, man. This list is hot. All right, comic fam, we're here. It's Friday. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about some hot comic books. That's what we do on Fridays because of who, Russ?
CBSI, comicbookinvest.com.
Those guys are awesome.
They are. They're really, really cool.
You see, they review the week of sales and they report on the hot books.
And there are a lot of hot books out there every single week. And it's amazing to see how many of these books are moving. You know, we have someone here because of movies. We have someone here that just happen to be hot. We have someone here because the writers are great and some because the artists are great. This is a very well-rounded list.
Heck, we have Walmart books making this list. We have controversial stuff and some stuff that's attainable. So if you can, please smash that like button for us. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button because we talk a lot of comics.
Mm-hmm.
Without further ado, let's jump into this list because, Russ, this is a great list.
Yes, Tom, this is a great list. We better jump in at number 10.
All right, coming in at number 10, we have Reborn, number 1. Sandra Bullock making the list here because she did the Bird Box movie that everyone liked. That was really bad.
I didn't like it at all.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah.
You know what is basically The Happening. You know, people running away from wind. Not about that kind of stuff. But Reborn getting a Netflix adaptation, and one worth talking about on this list because it's a Millar book with Greg Capullo drawing it.
I know. Millar and Capullo, fantastic team up on this book. When this came out, it was an awesome book, and it was in so much demand. There was a first and a second and a third and a fourth print of number 1. I remember having to reorder it multiple times a few years ago when this first came out, and it was just a great book then. It's nice to see it making the list right now.
Number 1 coming in at $15 to $20 strong, getting snatched up on eBay.
Nice.
Keep an eye out because there's a cover B that is gorgeous. That's actually, I think, way cooler than the number 1. So I think even that has some potential. And then there's actually 1 in 100 sketch variants of each of these books. And Greg Capullo put out at New York City Comic Con a sketch variant of cover B for number 1 as well. So there are 7 1 in 100 sketch variants to be keeping an eye out for.
Wow.
If this is anything like Bird Box and the success of that movie, we may have a strong new fan favorite storyline here.
As much as I dislike Miss Congeniality, we know that Sandra Bullock is a very, very bankable star. Regardless of what she's in, it's going to be popular and it's going to be watched, however polarizing her role is.
All right, let's move on to number 9 because we got some gold making the list.
Whoa. Okay. Tom, last time you tried to do some gold, the guru got a little bit upset.
Oh, yeah, he got pissed,
He did.
man.
So I think what you need to do is we need to kick it over to Jeff and have him drop some Golden Age knowledge on us.
Yeah, I don't want to even risk it. Let's just get the guru right now.
Dude, thank you for reaching out to me. I would be pissed if I saw this video about Phantom Lady being on the top 10 and I don't get to talk about it. So Phantom Lady 17, number 9 on this list at $3,800. Are you kidding me? No surprise whatsoever. I've seen some personal sales of this book the last couple of years that have reached this number or so. The last really recorded sales for a 3.0 was in 2011 and 2009 for around $1,400. So this is a big leap. And a 4.0 sold for over $7K in November of last year. This is a great book. Matt Baker, who basically did this entire run from issue 13 to almost all the way to 23. He stopped at 22. Other issues in that run you should check out is number 14. It falls along the same lines. It's kind of more busty and chesty, which they called headlight covers. So did number 18, which was another good one. And I believe number 23 as well was actually really good. And that was actually by Jack Kamen, who did the cover art for that one. And he just took over for Matt Baker and really just jumped right in and made a great cover for that entire run. Really excited that this is on the list, deservingly. Everybody who owns a number 17 should be proud to have that in their collection. So for number 8, though, Russ, take it away on that one.
Thanks, Jeff. Number 8, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, the new Donny Cates.
Sir Cates!
Oh my God, so great. So this
We got people
is...
saying Sir Cates in the community, by the way.
It's good.
pretty
It's
cool.
really, really good. So this is the premiere variant. Now,
Did you get one?
I got 2 of them.
What?
I did.
That never happens.
You know what, Tom? I never get the 1 in 50 variants, but I actually bought 50 copies of this book because I wanted to give out 1 free copy of the Donny Cates Guardians of the Galaxy to every single person who supports our Patreon for this first month of Patreon. So if you want to make MilGeek your LCS, click the link down below. That being said, they had a fantastic 1 in 10, a fantastic 1 in 25. My favorite cover is probably the Ron Lim with Thanos in the coffin.
Dead Thanos just floating in
So
space.
super cool.
Super creepy.
But this one is great because it's a 1 in 50 variant, but a maximum of 2 per store. So if you ordered 500 copies, you could get 10 of the 1 in 50 variant. But if you ordered 500 copies, the most you could get is 2 of these premier per store variant.
What are they going for?
These are solidly going for 45 to 50. Now, on Tuesday, there was a buy it now that went for 125, and then we saw a couple going for 90. So it's gone down as the market is getting flooded, but still staying at 50 is a really, really good one. And we're just going to see what happens with this book, especially with Dark Guardians coming out right around the corner.
Yeah, who is the next Thanos? Oh, and that Bernie Wrightson cover. Holy smokes.
I've never seen that art before ever, and it's definitely vintage Wrightson. You just get to see Star-Lord Cap and a big space slug, you know?
Fantastic. That's the one I'm going to be keeping an eye out for. All right, let's chat about number 7 here. We have Blossom 666. This is a hack variant. Hack variants have made this list before.
They have, with the continued success of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and we saw Hack do some fantastic covers for the Afterlife with Archie a couple years ago. It's nice to see this whole Archie-verse having more and more of these things happening. Now, there are 5 different covers for this book, but the Hack one is the low print run that everyone is looking for.
This one's going for between $15 and $20 out the gate as well. It's a cool book. This style is really, really cool. It's definitely very hack-centric, you know? And then we also have this other one that we found that we got to mention it. It's on pre-order. There's only 400 of them that are going to be made. But we have a Archie Girls Betty and Veronica 320 homage.
Oh, I know. So this is super, super cool. And I saw this on eBay and I was wondering where I could get it from. And I found out stadiumcomics.com has it. It's a shop exclusive variant and their online store on eBay is selling copies of this. But it's
seeing that side by side, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to get both just to display them.
I don't ever want to pick up a Betty and Veronica comic except for something like this where it's like, oh, this is kind of cool because we got the Blossom twins and it looks like Betty. Okay, yeah.
Horror making the list.
Oh, it's good.
But we actually have some more comics that are in the horror theme, but not before we move on to number 6. Coming in on the list here at number 6, we have that Die Kitty Die issue number 3, that Bewitched variant. I'm kicking myself. I didn't even listen to my own video. I went on eBay after we made this video. I'm like, dang, I really want that book. And I think it was selling for what, 20, 30 bucks at that time?
25 seemed like a lot for that book. And I don't like Bewitched that much. And now it's coming in at how much, Tom?
$50. And they're listing for $60. It's still going up. Dan Parent, he killed it with that cover. And by the way, number 4 is out, and he did cover A, and that book's going for $15 already. But we gotta give a kudos to the Ruiz variant over here at number 4B. Holy crap, this Scooby-Doo homage is fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool, cool stuff. Hey, Tom, before we move any further, let's do some shout-outs to the community, to some people who are doing some great searching.
Oh, heck yeah. We have a special shout-out list here because these next members of the community, they didn't just find one book. They didn't just find 2 or 3. They found a bunch of hot keys out in the wild. Congratulations to Zach Buys Comics, who got a bunch of stuff recently making the list. ASM 212, the Harley 57 variant. I see the Chilling Adventures 8 there in the corner. Well done on the hunt.
That Beer Dog found an ASM 212, the Hydra Man appearance, Annual 18 Monica Rambeau, and a bunch of stuff off of our true first list, which is a bunch of Spidey stuff right there. Super, super cool.
Heck yeah. Dying Breed Comics. He went and found a bunch of the Young Avengers at cover price, which is like one of the hottest books now.
Right.
At the most recent convention I went to, there was a ton of people specifically looking for Young Avengers. But good job on the hunt. He also picked up Immortal Hulk. Everyone's banking on that Immortal Hulk.
That is great. DOTY Designs got 3 copies of Young Avengers #1 and the New Avengers Key and the Ronin Key.
I passed one up this last weekend. It was $40, and that's like what they're going for. Do you think it's going to go up any higher?
I don't know. I think once the Endgame movie comes out or whatever they're actually going to call it, it's there's good potential.
Good potential on Ronin.
Yeah.
Well, we also have Tom Ryan 2121. He went to a flea market. Love going to flea markets.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find stuff. Most of the time you don't.
Most times you don't know.
But when you do, you end up being like Tom Ryan 2121, who picked up a 365. He found a Supernatural Thrillers in the back there, the Elemental's first appearance.
Nice.
He picked up a 365 and Avengers 47, that gorgeous yellow cover.
There's 365 twice in there.
I did. I put 365
You did,
twice on there,
yes.
and I'm super excited he found it. Let's just keep on going at number 5.
All right, number 5, we have Uncanny X-Men #10, the Finch variant. Now, this is a 1 in 10 variant, and again, I don't normally go out of my way to like buy special variants, but I loved the stuff that Finch did with X-Men a while ago, and when I saw this cover, it is one of those. It's not a flashy cover. It's not him, snicked in or showing his claws or getting. It is just kind of Wolverine being there, and it is just kind of the quintessential cover. It is a gorgeous cover. The colors are great. It is really just him being awesome. And Finch just did an amazing job with this book, and I picked it up a couple weeks ago when it first came out, and they're going for $30 now.
Gorgeous cover. This is my favorite kind of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like brutish in the brown suit. And I haven't seen a Wolverine cover like this that I enjoyed as much since that J. Scott Campbell variant, when there was a bunch of them, and he did the one that came out right around New York City Comic Con.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, that was a good one too.
definitely. And the fact that the Uncanny X-Men run is really solid. The last 10 weeks, they had been doing weekly comics, and so I didn't do as much on the variants there. They had action figure variants, they had a bunch of other ones, but this is the one that I stopped in my tracks and made a point of ordering one for myself. And if you can find one out there, it is just a gorgeous book.
Now, number 4 on the list here, I'm pretty excited about. You showed me this trailer.
I made you watch the trailer, yes.
It looks pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited. Her eyes are creepy, but
Alita number 1.
Battle Angel Alita, yes, number 1. Now, this one was in manga form, this one Viz Media comic books, and this has gotten hot. We actually saw a listing of 1 through 8 in last November, and I think it was $65 shipped. What's number 1 itself going for right now, Tom?
Number 1, it's going for over $100 alone. These sets are going for $300 plus now.
We saw a graded 5.0. This is not a graded 9.8. A graded 5.0 with a buy it now of $150 on eBay, and being able to see lists of 1 through 8, the sets of 1 through 8 going for $350 or more, that might even be low. I mean,
this movie looks pretty decent. I mean, this is the spec market right here. This is what's happening. The movie looks good enough to cause these to spike.
the people tied to this movie right now, you have James Cameron,
Big
you have Robert.
names.
I mean, there are some major names, and it just looks cool. You have a female protagonist. You're going to be able to play to like the female audience. You've got the sci-fi feeling. It has a very Blade Runner-y feel
Yeah,
to it.
cool robots and stuff.
It does.
Very
I mean,
sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah. It looks very, very cool.
I think the big thing is that it's kind of kid-friendly.
And
I
that is
think.
probably the thing, because I know my 10-year-old daughter, Amber, is probably going to, Daddy, I hate that. That's awful. And then I'm going to get her a copy, and it's going to be the only DVD she watches for like the next 6 months. That's
There you go.
totally how she is. Love you, Amber.
All right, let's keep an eye out for this series. I mean, even the mangas are starting to spike. And if you know anything about mangas, those things are made in like they have so many printings and mangas
Massive
that,
print runs,
that they, no matter what, they're like almost always just under $6. Even if it's a hot book like Death Note or something.
Right.
Let's hope that this movie doesn't pull a Death Note and suck terribly. All right. All right. Let's move over to number 3, because we mentioned it on this list. It keeps coming up. Immortal Hulk, I think, is going to be that run we look back on as like, what is it? What's been being said about Immortal Hulk? Legend in the making? Like, this is a series, like we're reading a legendary series that's coming out right now.
And I honestly believe that if all you did was lay them on the table and go, look at these Alex Ross covers, you would never even have to read them and you could enjoy them. Because this is quite honestly the pinnacle of what we have ever seen Alex Ross do. And Alex Ross has been the pinnacle of art for decades. I mean, when he started out doing the Terminator covers, you could tell when Alexander Ross was painting the covers for Terminator in the late 80s, early 90s, to now, he is always just killing it, and these covers are stunning.
All right, moving on to this issue number 12. We're seeing sales between $10 to $15 already, and we're talking first print here.
It came out yesterday.
Just came out. Everybody's looking at Immortal Hulk. It's getting crazy press behind it, and relatively low printing counts still. But it's on the rise, and the community is buying it. So we need to be keeping an eye out for this. We've mentioned the Alex Ross covers before, but the story itself is really, really good.
Right.
Oh, and there's a variant cover to this too.
As a matter of fact, there is a Guardians of the Galaxy variant. And thank you, CBSI, for the shout out. I actually had Mr. BOLO tag me on Instagram that there was someone who was upset that they couldn't find the Guardians of the Galaxy variant at their LCS. So if you want a new LCS, hit up our Patreon. But we are giving away Immortal Hulk number 12, the Guardians of the Galaxy variant. I have one extra copy. Those are selling for $20 to $25 on eBay right now. Like the video, subscribe, comment down below for an opportunity to win a free copy of this super hot book.
Moving on to number 2, we have Shazam number 1. Everyone has been banking on Shazam number 1. This has been a very affordable run for quite some time.
Yep.
And we have a run here that is just riddled with terrible covers. Like, this is one of the worst covers in any run that I've ever seen. But I know them very well because of how awful they are.
They're so creepy, and it's just one of those things that it's like weirdly photo cover, and he looks really kind of...
We got to show off number 2 because he's like coming out of a book, and it's the same book that the kid's holding.
Yeah.
But it's a photo cover, so the kid's real, and he's on the book he's holding. So it's super cringy. But number 6 is just straight up creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. So at least the new Shazam
Imagine if that was your
covers-
kid in that number 6.
Nope. Not at all. And the Shazam is very like, I don't know, John Romita Jr. art. Like, there's not a whole lot of detail. He's got kind of like a pudding face and black dots for eyes.
It's been cheap for so long because of all these things.
Right, because there just weren't any things. I had a collection that came in like 3 years ago with 3 copies of Shazam number 1 in it, and I couldn't give the damn things away. I priced them low. I think I had $50-$60 on near mint copies of number 1. So if I still have them at the shop, they're probably valuable now.
Well, yeah, because 9/8s are going for $1,300.
Oh my God. What are Raws going for?
Between 100 and 150 still. So we haven't seen the raw market spike just yet, but it's on its way up. We got to keep watching Shazam. And you know when this movie lands that it's going to be one that is going to cause a ruckus in the market because I think it's actually got some legs here.
Right.
All right, moving on to number 1. The last book on the list. We have a Walmart exclusive. We have a controversial comic here. We have Lois Lane getting murdered, getting tortured, kids reading it. What's going on?
Oh my God. Okay. Number 1 is a 100-page giant number 7 Superman, and this is a Walmart exclusive book. Tom King wrote this book, and again, we know Tom King has been doing a fantastic job of Heroes in Crisis, and heroes are dying left and right in Heroes in Crisis.
I think he went into this book thinking about that. He's probably just like nonstop thinking, how do I make people super depressed and like introspective? And then, oh, I got to write this Walmart book? Sure. And he forgot that kids are going to read it. And he's like, Superman is really worried about Lois. And yeah, this is like go through some torture scenes.
The heroes in Heroes in Crisis do not shove any of the heroes into a refrigerator. I mean, seriously, This is the type of thing that it's a little crazy. So I had people talking to me about it on Monday. I went and bought a copy on eBay and I paid $20 for it. It's still going for $15 to $20.
Oh my God, you paid $20 for a Walmart comic.
I know. I
We're
paid The problem is that these are regionally scarce,
I know, right?
and not every Walmart has them.
And they look cool, dude. Some of them look good.
I was getting tagged by people on Instagram all this week showing me that they had picked up 3, 4, 5 copies because, yes, there are Walmarts out there that have a ton of them, but none of the Walmarts around here carry comic books. And I've asked them, and they're like, nope, we have no plan. We're not going to do it. So, yes, it is regionally scarce. You may be able to go in and buy it for cover price at your Walmart, but in other parts of the country, you just can't find them.
And this one made press.
this is getting a lot of press. This is getting a lot of buzz.
Yeah, it's like 12 pages of gruesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is not something that we expect. This is not something that we necessarily want. Lois Lane is not a character that people want bad things to happen to. Jimmy Olsen, maybe.
Even
but Lois
if it's
Lane,
just
not.
in his head, and even if it's not in canon or anything, this is going on the shelf at Walmart next to Pokemon cards. These are supposed to be entry-level comic books for a particular age group. Whoops.
Yeah, well, Diamond is not in charge of it. Walmart is in charge of it. So if there is a recall, Walmart is the one doing the recall out of it.
Oh my God,
So
they recall that, it's going to go up even higher.
I know.
All right, well, we have to keep an eye out for some Walmart books. We've been saying, hey, we're not sure how we feel. I want to know from the comic fam. How do you feel about the Walmart books? They're making the list. And they're making the list for good cause. Like there's a good reason here. But we want to know from the community what you think about not just this list, but this particular exclusive comics that are coming out of Walmart now.
Oh my God.
It's crazy we're talking about Walmart exclusives, but you know what? We got to.
You definitely do. Thank you so much to CBSI comicbookinvest.com for getting us this awesome list this week. So many great comics.
Yeah, we do appreciate you, as well as the comic book community. Thank you so much for watching this video. Smash that like button for us. And if you're new to the channel, we make a lot of comic book content, so you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and make sure that bell is rung.
Comment down below for a chance to win Immortal Hulk number 12, the Guardians of the Galaxy variant, and that's the way to geek responsibly.
Absolutely. Enough said. Thanks so much for watching the video. Shout out to Tyler McDonald, who won the Hot 10 List giveaway last week. Hit the description to find out how to contact us. And you can also hit the description to sign up for our comic book subscription service, the Mystery Mail Call. We're sending out a Hulk 181 in February. It's a great time to join the community.